You're such an asshole.
So I got a original request from our Italian agent in the field. Hey. And our Italian agent in the field, he's a regular customer client, and I helped him out. And now he's happy and free and doing his thing. I want to identify him. But ladies, if you're looking for a man who's responsible, makes a lot of money, and hasn't committed crime, I know he doesn't have his ankle bracelet. He's not sick. But if you're looking for a responsible, wealthy man, couldn't he have gotten in a bar fight or something? I have a guy. He's Italian. Hey. And he wanted me to do 3 originals, and this came across my desk. And by desk, I mean my phone. And what's the title is called "Why Cutting Costs is Expensive: How a $9 an Hour Software Engineers Cost Boeing Billions." And you think this would be recent? Like it was about the doors flying off. What, that was 7 months ago? This is written in 2019. 2019. And so I want to read through this, and I'll. Yes, we could talk Democrat, Republican. We could talk about how socialism destroys economy, paying surprise, taking money from the producers, paying it to the parasites to produce even less. Shock. Your economy contracts. There's not enough housing. But there's other things that have nothing to do with politics or government policy that are really fucking up the economy here. So I wanted to read this. On October 28th, 2018, Lion Air... Oh, by the way, this is by Eric Elliott. On October 29th, 2018, Lion Air Flight 610, a 737 MAX 8 flight from Jakarta, Indonesia to Penang, Indonesia, crashed into the sea 13 minutes after takeoff, killing all 189 people aboard. Dude, bro, my stock options go up, bro. It's only 189 people, bro, and they're brown people on top of it. Fuck them, bro. Not like us, bro. Right off the bat, I look more at the economic costs of, I call it the mistake economy, right? I talked to contractor, like, how much to fix this deck? And oh, no, I didn't ask him that. Well, I asked him that too. I said, what percent of your time is spent cleaning up other people's mistakes? He's like, oh, 60%. And I know all of you American young people, you want to own homes and you're all college educated. So this is going to be too complicated for you. I'll do the math. If 60% of a contractor's time is cleaning up other people's mistakes, that means more than twice the amount of housing could be built if people stop making fucking mistakes. That's just housing, which is a very, very, if not the most important economic variable factor is your living, is housing, is lodging, biggest budget, biggest this, most direct effective thing on your standards of living. We could double that, more than double that, if contractors would stop fucking their sisters and actually do their fucking job right and sober on time. But that's a different thing. 189 people died. I almost guarantee you, if we had godlike powers to figure out how the thing broke apart and it was a dude, bro, trying to save a nickel on a door handle made of Chinesium parts, so he could squeeze out an extra $30 and maybe his stocks options go up. 189 people dead. Inefficiency is one thing. Death and safety is another. Bruh. Get your stock options, bruh. That's right. They're brown people. They don't count. Investigations into the precise cause of the crash are still ongoing, but investigators believe that the crash may have been caused by an erroneous activation of commands from the maneuvering characteristics augmentation system, which caused the craft to pitch nose down to avoid danger based on airspeed, altitude, and angle of attack sensor readings. March 10th, 2019, Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302, also 737 MAX 8, went down under similar circumstances, killing all 157 people on board. Well, those are black people. Fuck them, right? Brown, well, maybe an MBA at Harvard might give a shit, but these are Africans. Fuck those people, right? This is, brah, you just have another nickel on the door handle, brah. Flight 302 also reporting possible erroneous and aircraft nose down command. In the next 10 seconds, the trim moved back up to 2.3 units as a result of pilot input, and pilots agreed on and executed the stabilizer trim cutout procedure, cutting power to the trim motor operated by MCAS. Hang on, let me didn't Brazil just have a flight? Is that the same Brazil flight crash? I'm wondering if it's the same airline or same air type plane. Brazil flight crash plane type. Twin engine turboprop. Okay, so that sounds like a propeller plane. Okay, so it's not the same type of plane. I'd be like, dang, 3 of the same planes in a row. After the second incident, the Boeing 737 MAX was grounded worldwide, and over $6 billion evaporated for the company's market cap virtually overnight. The short-term impact is just the beginning, though. If Boeing doesn't fix the crisis effectively and restore the public trust, it could materially impact the long-term stability of the company, according to Goldman Sachs. Boeing 737 sales accounts for 33% of Boeing's projected sales for the next 5 years. The good news is, according to a Boeing official speaking to CNN Business, we believe this can be updated through a software fix. It seems that the MCAS system can fail and send the aircraft into a steep dive from which the pilots are unable to recover. Bruh, did you outsource it to India, bruh? Bruh, don't hire any of those squares and the nerds over at the American universities, bruh. Why would we give Americans job, bruh? We could save 30 cents overseas, bruh. What kind of ascot you going to get with your savings, bruh? Whether it's flaws, software, microprocessor, hardware, it's a computing system failure of a life-critical system. Normally, for such systems, it's not uncommon to employ many lines of defense in order to assure quality control. Isn't this the same thing with that update that we had our Y2K event anyway? Because we had to release the thing and we didn't test it. Cut corners, brah! Brah! Make the patty thinner on McDonald's hamburgers, brah. No one's gonna know. Some common lines of defense of software development include requirements gathering, requirement specification and review, risk analysis, test-driven development, software linting, static analysis. Thank God AI is going to save us, right? The robots will save us. AI, brah! Did you bring the tweezers, brah, so you and I can jerk off to each other about implementing AI? Well, we won't implement it. We'll just talk about it at the press release, brah. Oh, needle jerking off. It's so fun, brah. Stack analysis, software inspection, code review, model simulation, formal methods, acceptance training, brah. I primarily write consumer applications governing non-life critical systems for millions of users. All the teams I've led or been part of recently have systems requiring gathering, specification, review, TDD, production simulation, using continuous integration, continuous delivery, to ensure that the software will work in the production environment, linting, static analysis, code review, a trimmed-down version of software inspection, and acceptance testing. We invest heavily in software quality and even pay our most junior engineers at least $100,000 a year. Bro, junior making six. Oh, I'm the only one who can make 6 figs here, bro. Why would we pay young millennials and Zoomers like a living wage, bro? Squares. No matter where they live in the world So this is important. Just a funny little thing. I talked to I wish I could say, I know a professor at a very high prestigious university in the United States, and he was telling me how in Singapore they pay their government employees exceptionally well. You know why? Then they can't be bribed. Imagine that. If you paid people if you were like Buc-ee's and paid people a wage above average, you'd have your pick of the litter. You could hire the best and they'd be loyal and they do the job right the first time. And then you wouldn't have to be cleaning up mistakes. 60% of your production wouldn't be a mistake. It wouldn't have to be redone. Oh, I don't know. 300, 400 people wouldn't die. No matter where they live in the world, in order to attract the best software engineers we could find to produce high quality software that is easy to maintain. We do employ junior developers, but we ensure that there's always enough senior level engineers to provide mentorship, code review, and support. You mean you're thorough? Holy shit. It's it's so simple to me. It's so simple. Like Atham's old man said, lazy people work twice as hard, which is true. And I don't know if Atham's dad came up with it, but it's worth to live by. But the simple concept of, look, you're going to spend 98% of the resources, time, and money on this complicated thing. Why not spend the extra 2% to make sure it works? Huh? I watched this website called YouTube channel called Plainly Difficult, and he just does human civil engineering disasters, mostly nuclear radiation or nuclear reactor accidents, but he does dams and things. And I'm just fascinated with the dam because there's like a lot of dam failures, and he's saying like, look, here's this dam. Look at all the material they put into this dam. Thousands, hundreds of thousands. I don't know how many labor hours, but a lot of human hours go into this dam. Look at this big thing. Oh, but they chinched on the rebar because the corrupt steel supplier guy could save half a cent per pound. And again, I'd have to look at the financial statements of the dam or the building or the nuclear reactor. But like, maybe these are things we don't chintz on. Maybe maybe you don't even buy the regular rebar. Maybe you spend the extra 2 cents a pound on the extra strength rebar. Maybe you spend an extra 3% to make sure nothing goes wrong. And when you have a very specific and visually identifiable project like a dam or a nuclear reactor or a skyscraper and it collapses, you could see it. But when you have this dude bra, cut costs and lower quality, but jack up prices bra type of strategy permeating through all the U.S. economy, and by extension, the U.S. economy, we do mean global too, right? Because we're supplying and outsourcing globally speaking. You have that happening at every decision on every product. Oh yeah, a light fixture. Okay. Let me tell you a story. I'll set this. Let me tell you a story. Now, I'm going to tell you a story. 4 years ago, 3 years ago, whenever the hell my house was built, they're building a pantry. I don't know what the fuck a pantry is. I'm a proud owner of a pantry, which is just a place you put dry food. I know I called that my cupboards when I was a bed. Okay, you got a pantry. Okay, we got a pantry. A little small thing. I remember him saying, do you want the light to go on when you open the door? I thought you put a light switch. Just me and my old school thinking. You'd open the door, right? And then you'd hit a button and the light would go on. But they got it now where there's a magnet up on top of the door. And if it's closed, the light goes off. If you open it, it automatically goes on. So it's always on. And once until that magnetic thing breaks, then, it's always off. And then when the magnetic connection breaks, then it turns on. That thing shat the bed. Me and my buddy, between going down to the homie depot and diagnosing and this and that, we spent 4 hours on a fucking light. And at the end of the day, guess what we found out? Chinesium. Some corporate cocksucking douchebag MBA, bro, thought it'd be a great idea. What wire? What failed? I don't know, but I guarantee you it was a nickel fix. Use the 5-cent more quality soldering material. Okay? And I don't know how many hundreds of, but I'd imagine other people are going to go through hours, cumulatively millions. I don't know how many of these units were produced. Just to have for 3.5 years this thing work? At the end of the day, we're just going to get one of those motion detector ones when you for a lesson for you boys. If you ever build a house, if you ever build a house and there's a woman involved in your life, you absolutely, unless it's her money, you absolutely do not let her add all the bells and whistles. And my girlfriend wasn't adding ridiculous bells and whistles. I was like, yeah, can you do that? Okay, I guess. Sure, go ahead. and they use the shitty piece of just make it as simple as possible. You want your house to be a P-51 Mustang, easy to assemble, easy to repair. You do not want it being a Tiger fucking tank. My house isn't a Tiger tank, but this one thing, I'm like, God Christ almighty, the amount of time we wasted on this dumb shit. But guarantee you, it was someone at corporate who says, dude, bro, Zhang over in Jinhua province says he could get us a nickel off each unit, brah. And here you are repairing shit for 8 when you throw in my buddy's time. That's a light. Guarantee you a nickel fix probably would have kept that door on at Boeing. I don't know what the investigation figured out, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what failed, why it failed. At the end of the day, guarantee you 90% of these failures is because some corporate cocksucking leader decided to cut costs by cutting quality. And you didn't cut costs. You just created a hole. Hey, damn right, an airplane. Christ, you got lives up in the air. You think you want to maybe make sure it works? Or when it crashes and fails, it's a spectacular and horrifically bad thing? Kind of related. And I'm increasingly getting to the point where I'm thinking the United States should just tell China to fuck off. We're not paying you. Yeah, you know that all the national debt we owe you, China? Yeah, we're not paying you that because of all the shit you sent over and all the time we got to spend cleaning it up. I think we're even. Go fuck yourself. People, oh my God, you know what happened to that? I don't care. But international relations aside, they got that Three Gorges Dam. Do you know how many people will die if the Three Gorges Dam fails? Like they're talking about from a military, like, well, what if China were to invade Taiwan? And a very obvious, I hadn't thought about him. Just dang, there's some malicious people. They're like, you know what we could do to China if they invade Taiwan? We could strike the Three Gorges Dam, and I think it would wipe out immediately 3 million people. It'd be the most horrific human-made disaster ever. It's just like, oh my God. Well, forget the war. Forget that. Did El Cheapo Zhang did he save a nickel providing the 3mm rebar as opposed to the 5mm rebar? I want to know. They got those tofu trade buildings. Did the CCP say, hey, wait a minute now. I know we're all busy sucking each other's dick and really being greedy, corrupt capitalists here, even though we're communists. But maybe we should make sure this thing is to spec, right? I don't know. I want to know, is the Three Gorges, did you actually use the right materials? Or did somebody skim a little bit off the top? That I'm going to be real curious about. If I were in charge of life critical system, I would double down on quality and consider adding more thorough training, mentorship requirements, gathering, risk assessment software. Wait, you wouldn't throw in DEI? You wouldn't say diversity is our strength right now? I know this isn't part of the top, but that's another one thing I want to know. Okay, we can skip on the rebar, and hey, you know what? Fuck merit, fuck quality. There's not a whatever disabled lesbian black women in our ranks. We need to put her in charge. We got to give her responsibility. That's added weight to this already crumbling bridge we got now. Risk assessment, software inspection, employ a language relevant and data-backed variant of NASA's Power of 10 rules as a code inspection checklist. Static analysis, even formal methods for critical systems to mathematically prove that our algorithms are correctly specified. That's hard. Bro, how much is that going to cost me, bro? If I had Boeing's budget, I'd also invest in research to see if the selection of programming language can make a difference. In my experience, investing in mentorship and other quality measures I've already discussed makes such a makes a much bigger difference than language selection, but with life-critical systems, a data-driven decision that could reduce the likelihood of defects even a little bit could be the difference between life and death. We need better research on software quality, and with a market cap in excess of $2 billion to protect, I think funding these kind of studies would be a no-brainer for Boeing. And that's my point. Dude, Harley, not related necessarily to safety. I keep telling you, you get ahead in corporate America by conformance, not performance. Harley, just another bit of data on top of the thousands bit of data points we already have. They were actually doing diversity, inclusion, and woke shit until they got caught, and now that's over. But you would think Boeing, I'm not kidding. We fly plane, or people fly our planes. We really got to make sure they don't crash. Bruh. I guarantee you, in Boeing and across America, across the world, but especially American corporations, the right people who should have been promoted or at least heated are not only ignored, they are punished and fired. And it would not shock me at all that Boeing is a conformist, obedient popularity entity and not one that critically thinks about, hey, safety is job one. We got to make sure our planes don't crash. I guarantee you it is somewhere along that command. Sure, you could speak a good game at the top level, but when the decisions were made, I guarantee you, oh, we could get cheaper programmers. We can get cheaper plastic. I don't know how many more planes are going to have doors blown off of it. This is 2019. We don't invest heavily in software quality because our teams have big budgets. They're a drop in the ocean compared to Boeing's engineering budget. We invest heavily in software quality because it helps us move faster to save money in the long run. To cut costs, engineering managers often rush developers, impose arbitrary, unrealistic deadlines. You can see that I'm using Boeing in this article as an example to show you how it's all over the U.S. economy. In my day, back in the 80s, when we were full-grown fucking adults and women weren't fat, disgusting, blue-haired pigs, and men weren't soy boy Zoomers living at home, right? When they came out with a video game, it had to work. The last time before that they didn't, E.T. and Indiana Jones, I believe, that caused the first video game crash. Because once you shipped out your cartridge, that was it. There was no coming back from that. It had to work. Now, dude, you guys are the beta testers. You guys, they'll release everything with a bug. I will patch it up later. I will patch it up later. To me, I'd be like, hey, I got an idea. How about instead of having to have a bunch of programmers and software geeks on staff to field the fucking problems and babysit a product, why don't you perfect the product, launch it once, and then that frees up your future staff to go and create a whole new other video game? Why not make sure it works? You ship it out, and then you don't have to babysit. And that's the thing is these MBA-Bros, they don't think about the babysitting costs and of nursing and nannying and repairing and fixing their products after the fact. They literally do not think beyond 2 quarters. They do not think long term at all. And these are your top companies. And shit, go look at government. Oh, we can put off more money. They don't think to the next week. And it's everywhere, man. It's everywhere. Inevitably, the point it gets to, and the point I'm trying to make, although I'll be expanding it more on a book I'm invariably going to write when I get off my lazy ass, is do you go out that day? Really? Do I go out today? The entirety of the economy is me taking my time, which I sacrifice to earn money, my time in the form of money. I give it to other people for them to complete tasks, whether that's building me a thing, refining me some gas, getting me some food. And if at every level, whether it's the individual employee fucking up your order or corporate MBA, dude, bro, we can fill this with, I know there's pesticides in there, but we don't, that costs a lot too much money. That's all right if it costs us cancer. Leave it in the food, bro. To that, It is increasingly becoming not worth your time to even leave the fucking home. Why? Why would I go out? Why? Loud American Roadhouse, Sturgis. I'll mention them by name because I want to save you that. Don't get the steak. Why would you drive all the way to Sturgis to the Loud American Roadhouse and it's advertised all? And if you come here, you're going to see advertised. Don't go to the Loud American Roadhouse because their food is horrible. I love slimy steak. Do you love slimy steak? If you love slimy steak, go to the Loud America. Why do we waste cumulatively 3 hours of people's time and the money spent to get slimy steak? I know oh, come on, Cappy. That's nowhere near a Boeing 747 crash. You're right. It's nowhere near that, but it's the same fucking problem. And it's either death by a plane crash or a dam failing or death by 1,000 mosquito bites. At least with the plane crash, it's immediate and quick. Being alive where no one does their fucking job and everyone's cutting quarters and nothing works is maddening. It's a tortured life. Even more, and there was already compelling philosophical and economic reasons to become a minimalist. Now it's just there's mental health reasons. Why would I go out? Seriously, because I go to town, kind of like Little Home on the Prairie. I live about 30 minutes away. It's a 30-minute drive to Rapid City. That's where the food and everything is. It's an hour round trip. I go to town every day, pretty much hit the gym, chit chat with the gang, run errands. Dude, there's not a day that there isn't a mistake. Like a mistake that didn't happen. Everyone, oh, come on, Gabby. There's always going to be a mistake. That's fine. We're just widening our assholes so society can fuck us with a bigger dildo. Oh, come on, Cappy. Come on, Cappy. Widen your ass. Come on. You're so negative. Why are you so angry all the time? They're just trying to go from a 3-inch gauge to a 5-inch gauge dildo. Let them shove it up your ass. It's okay if the old lady from Nebraska stops in the middle of the street. It's okay that, whatever, I'm trying to think. Menards. The seed spreader didn't work. It's okay the seed spreader didn't work. So, come on. It's made in China. Take the 6-inch girth dildo up your ass. Come on. Stop being so negative. Gas pumps don't work. Just little bits and things like this is where the economy starts to collapse. These little things stop working. Oh, come on. Conform like we've always been telling you to conform. There's nothing wrong with an 8-inch dildo going up your ass. Come on. We're Americans. Anyone not see? Really? Cut costs, engineers, managers often rush developers, impose arbitrary, unrealistic deadlines, or in the case of Boeing, outsource engineering to cheap contractors to increase production bandwidth. There you go. There you go. Don't pay Americans. Don't keep it in-house. God, you corporations are really like Minnesotans. You hate your own kind. You really yours is Minnesotans are motivated by politics of virtue signaling and a genuine self-loathing, I think, endemic to the culture. But you corporations you just can't help out Americans, can you? Oh, we got to outsource it to Bangladesh or India because it's cheaper, bro. Now, in fairness, it didn't say whether they outsourced to India, but I don't know where you're going to find $9 an hour software programmers. Outsourcing engineering to cheap contractors to try and increase production bandwidth. Boeing's culture and emphasis on cost savings seems to have trickled all the way down to the engineers working on the 737. One 737 contract software engineer from HCL, an Indian company Boeing outsourced to illustrate the cost-cutting culture on his resume, provided quick workaround to resolve production issue, which resulted in not delaying flight test of 737 MAX. Delay in each flight test would cost very big amount for Boeing. Regardless of which systems these engineers worked on, if you foster an engineering culture where developers are made to feel that management values fast and cheap over continuous progress and quality software, that will have a tremendously negative impact on both the quality and the timely delivery of your software. Buggy software takes longer to build. Lazy people work twice as hard. Over half of your housing supply is repairing other people's mistakes. And I am wondering if concrete can break off the Three Gorges dam. Just look that up. You could just pull concrete off of some of the buildings in China because they didn't do the concrete. Hey, but somebody saved the nickel. Or whatever China's version of a nickel is. When management overemphasizes cost savings, developers feel rushed. When developers feel rushed, mentorship and reviews halt, bugs pile up, tests get skipped, communication suffers, developers burn off, productivity suffers. Mark Rabin, who worked on a Boeing flight test group that supported the 737 MAX, told Bloomberg that the decision to outsource engineering to HCL was controversial because it was far less efficient than Boeing engineers just writing code. It took many rounds going back and forth because the code was not done correctly. So many, the MBAs, they're dumb and they can't think beyond step one. And they have no allegiance to America or their home country. None. They're scum. They're fucking scum. You can't hire locals. You can't hire American software. I guarantee you there's some young men and women in the United States software. Now, this is 4-year-old, 5-year-old article here. If a president of the United States, like, no, you're hiring Americans. If you don't want to hire Americans, go fuck off. Oh, gee, look, the tax rate just went up for you. All these, I really get a kick. Of course, it's the left hand not knowing what the right hand's doing. Here you got a large corporation. Oh, master's required. And then you get your man. Oh, no, but we're going to hire somebody overseas because you're too expensive. According to Rabin, one manager shared an all-hands meaning that Boeing didn't need senior engineers because its products were mature. That anecdote is what prompted me to write this article. In case there are any doubts, letting junior engineers code without senior engineers to review the work and guide them is equivalent to stashing time bombs all over the code base. When it comes to engineering, fast is slow and cheap is expensive. The phrase slow is fast is well known in engineering circles. Right, you're building complicated things. Do it right the first fucking time. It has origins in the military phrase, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And it's a form of uncommon sense. Everybody, is it? Do I have like above a 105 IQ and I can figure that out? Hey, maybe we don't fuck it up in the garage before we ship it out onto the road. It can't be that. It can't be that brilliant. You don't have to be the Einstein to understand that. But damn it, man. MBA is a business. You literally can't figure that out. You all literally, and you see it happening all over. I don't know why we got so many layoffs. Like, really? You don't know why? Again, I used to think corporate leaders were smart. And just for you young people, just corporate leaders are not. Again, they conform, they do not perform. But god damn, man, now it's starting to have effect on, in this particular case, safety, but everybody's day-to-day life. And take Bob Iger, for example. He's the president, CEO, I think just CEO of Disney. I don't care how old or how many years experience he's got, how good he is taking shareholder money and buying other businesses with it. Don't perform necessarily. That guy's a fuckwit. He's a truly stupid person. He's not intelligent. He's a conformist. Look what happened at Disney right now. Now, they make a shit movie or shit show. People aren't going to die or get sick from it, but people waste their time. People waste their money. And now people just aren't watching the show. Everybody seems to know it's true, but very few companies are good at putting it into practice, particularly when they're under pressure and they need it the most. Boeing was facing a serious competitive threat from their rival Airbus. Well, look how bad they are now, cutting corners. Now there is no competition. You just literally gave your hand to Airbus. In 2010, Airbus announced the new A320neo, which was 7% more fuel efficient and sold more in a week than Boeing 737 sales for the entire year of 2010. Boeing needed to answer back fast to make the offering attractive to airlines. Decided to base their answer on the existing 737, which both saved the time of designing a new platform from scratch and also locked them into legacy platforms with similar controls and instrumentation to all the previous models dating back to the 1960s. Because it was easier, brah. That choice was also an important sales talking point for airlines who need to recertify pilots if they made too many changes. This would be a serious engineering challenge. To avoid losing too much ground to Airbus, they decided they would try to make the new 737 available just a few months after Airbus shipped the A320neo. Here's my question. You got a plane that its origins date back to the 60s. Shouldn't you be having an R&D department to say, okay, we're going to phase out this and come out with a new plane with the latest and greatest composite materials, fuel efficiency, ba ba ba. What? It's not like Airbus just sprang this on it. Oh, hey, by the way, everybody, new plane. Here it is. Oh, wow, no one saw that coming. Again, the MBAs were too busy with their tweezers. Um, They gave themselves 6 years to deliver the new model, which shaved off more than a year of the time it took them to ship the 787 and the 777. In other words, they started the project with an optimistic deadline in mind, but instead of making it aspirational, they committed to it hard. Before they even began, they had locked all the constraints of the project management triangle. And there's a ridiculous looking project here. The project management triangle. If you see Porter's five forces models, a SWOT analysis chart, or now add to that the project management triangle, that book, that business textbook is worthless and you should change degrees. Scope was constrained by the ambitious engineering goals that were preset by the competition. Time was locked in order to avoid a default win by Airbus. That meant the only lever they had left to ensure quality was to ensure the project had an adequate budget. But the culture of Boeing was already locked into a cost-cutting mandate. The only thing left to give was quality. The problem with a cost-cutting culture is that companies like Boeing get so obsessed with it that it ends up costing them far more than they save. Boeing's initial, here we go, dude, bros. You saved a nickel by just making that McDonald's hamburger a little bit even thinner. Boeing's initial budget for the 737 MAX was $3 billion. Despite of the efforts to save time and money, they landed several billion dollars over budget and delivered late. The ensuing disasters cost them tens of billions in market cap, 30 billion and 30 billion. Okay, so market cap isn't a thing. When their stock price went down, that's not a thing. That's not what they actually cost them. I would ignore that. It's a misleading number they throw out there. This is not misleading. 30 billion in airline order cancellation threats. That 30 billion in lost revenue. Good thing you paid the Indian consultation firm. Thank God you didn't hire an American. They could have invested billions of dollars more to follow better engineering practices and still come out far ahead. This all serves as a great lesson for all software managers and engineers. Well, it serves for your corporate lead. The engineers aren't, you guys are the ones that got to implement this shit. It's you MBA cocksucking dude bros. It's all of you current business leaders, all of you. You only have two strategies right now that you're implementing. This is it. And if these are your only two strategies, we can replace you with AI. You're like a Hollywood writer. You shit. You don't offer anything of value. We can replace you with software or two policies, right? Your two strategies, all corporate American strategies right now are two things. Cutting costs by cutting quality, bro, and charging more. Bro. Which you've cut quality so far, your products don't work and no one wants them anymore. And that costs you sales in the future and the entire veracity of the firm. Or two, DIESG, carbon footprint, virtue signaling, dick sucking, leftist political popularization bullshit. Hey, brown peeps, we down with you, yo. Why, we are so for the diversities. Look, a rainbow flag. Buy our shit that don't work because it's made of Chinesium. That's it. That's all you know. And if you want to go and play around the horseshit, racist, sexist, and other forms of bigotry game, hiring people based on their traits, go right ahead. That's fine. That's a different discussion. But lowering the quality to the point that your products don't work no more, or they're just not worth having. Wow. Also, my favorite was McDonald's. I looked at the profit margin. They're jacking up the profit margin. I thought, oh, okay. And yes, I know many of you pointed out, well, it's the franchise. That's the publicly traded. Okay, fine. You can use Wendy's then if you'd like as a different example. I thought their costs had gone up and the profit margins remained the same. No, they just jacked up the profit margins 20% more. You lowered the quality and you jacked up your prices 20% more. And you're shocked that people aren't buying your shit no more. You see this, you could see this, you see it everywhere. Auto manufacturers, go look at what's happening to Chrysler, which is now Stellantis, the European consortium. Gonna jack up prices. Didn't y'all like new cars? Like, who the fuck is gonna pay 50 grand for a new car? No one. No one's buying the new cars. Did your quality go up? No, it didn't. It's one thing if one company fucks it up, but you have, this is my main point, your business leadership class that is now in charge of the United States and probably other places around the world, but definitely in the United States. They're my age, Gen Xers, and they are incompetent, conformist douchebags. They are not intelligent. They don't even have the intelligence to think long term. All they know is lower costs, lower quality, jack up price, underpants gnomes, profit. And they don't think about, wow, we just lost our entire look at Disney. No one's coming. Look what they did to Star Wars. No one is coming back to Star Wars. No one. You had a franchise, an IP that guaranteed you $1 billion in 2005 pre-inflation dollars in sales. And you're going to see, I think they got a new Ray movie coming out. I bet you maybe it makes $250,000. You've lost, what would that be? Roughly 75% of your value. You lost your audience. That is what keeps your company going, is loyalty. Future purchases. A quality product. I talked about the Red Wing boots. Red Wing boots have gone to shit. But we can talk it's an entire generation of business leaders that are doing this, and they're in charge of all the economic production, or heavily influence all the economic production of all the goods and services that we consume here in the United States. And it's because they are dumb, they are low IQ, they lack foresight, and they only know lower costs at the cost of quality, jack up prices, and DEI, ESG, carbon footprint horseshit. That's it. And the problem for all of you is you don't think about it because it didn't all happen at once, but imagine everything you buy breaks. The gas clogs up your engine. The spark plugs you use to fix your engine don't spark because the gas clogged it up. So if you put new ones in, the spark plugs are failing. The concrete, a friend of mine poured the concrete he got doesn't work. It's already crumbling down. And he mixed it right because he knows what he was doing. He's a contractor before. Car batteries. They used to last 4 to 5 years. Now they last 2 to 3. Because China. If everything starts failing or lasting half as long as it did, just take that angle, half as long as it did, your standards of living just got cut in half because you got to buy twice as much over your life. And then they say, oh, look at GDP figures. The economy's growing. No, it's broken window fallacy. That's kind of all they know what to do, is essentially corporate leadership in the United States has just like, well, we'll break windows more frequently, and then you got to buy our windows again. We're going to make shittier chairs. And Lord knows the window probably, I don't know about Anderson windows. I'm not accusing them of anything. But have they gone down in quality? They got to buy more windows from us. Ha, ha, ha. Everyone's going to be forced to be a minimalist. You're not going to go out and you're not gonna, you're gonna have to eat at home more regularly. The end of the restaurant industry, you see that people like all these restaurants are closing. I don't know. Maybe you should have pie at Perkins. It's just me. Maybe this was IHOP. They had an open sign right there in the window where it should be, right in front where you could see it from the road. You look, are they open or not? You never know because it's never on. You see cars there, but the way open, are they open? You go there, they're open. I think even one time the open sign was on, you go in there, they're closed. That's who's late. And you cannot have a functioning economy where your corporate leadership produces things that don't work. Because inevitably people are going to stop buying because why would they buy it? Why would they get the spark plugs that don't work? The shovel that breaks off of its handle already happened to me. And that's the real thing that would concern me about, because ultimately that would lead in inflation where people are going to they'll have all the money in the world. What are they going to buy? None of your shit works. The shelves might as well be empty. And I don't know. It's going to slow down velocity, not to bore people with economics. It's going to slow down the velocity of the dollar because as people have less and less faith in the economy, it's not going to get fucked over. They're going to spend their money less. It's just going to sit there. I haven't figured that one out. That might cause kind of a deflationary environment in some ways, but also an inflationary environment because the money's sitting there. So maybe they buy certain assets. I haven't figured that one out. But me personally, I mean, now I'm a minimalist on top of it, but I don't go out to eat anymore in the Black Hills. The restaurants aren't reliable. Most reliable one is I'm not going to go and sit at different ones that can't serve the food right or on time. They're all going to go belly up, but then it's like, well, where's the money that's going to sit in the banks? And then the next step I haven't figured out. What could have been a huge win for Boeing had they not been obsessed with cost cutting turned into a big disaster that took a hatchet to the Boeing brand. Don't repeat Boeing's mistakes. Let's read about Eric. Eric Elliott is a tech product and platform advisor, author of Composing Software, and co-founder of Eric Elliott, 2tsjs.com, and devanywhere.io. He's on different shows and so very influential guy. Yeah, 5-year-old article, but very germane. There you are. I would ask you MBA dude bros and douche canoes to set aside the pliers, start stroking off your little micro dick there, and maybe if you could think long term, I would ask you corporate MBA cocksuckers to maybe think, hey, quality increases the quality of people's lives, and it also increases their safety. I'd ask you to get rid of the racist, sexist, and otherwise bigoted shit of DEI, and that's what it is, because it's not helping your brand and it's morally and ethically wrong. But honest to God, I don't think you're capable of it. One, because you're not that intelligent. You literally have like a 105 IQ and you cannot think past the next quarter. You really lack the intelligence to do that. But the other thing, more powerful than your lack of intelligence, is your lazy sexist shit. I know that's why you became, MBA dude bros. You want engineer salaries without engineer work. And you get it it's so weird. You all get it by learning the skills you did back in whatever, middle school and high school. Being popular, brah. Conforming, brah. Backstabbing, brah. Yeah, you're right. You ascend the best piece of shit floats to the top of the sewer of bureaucracy. You're right. You are the best piece of shit. You're the most conformist, coolest, hippest, swingingest. You got people to believe you, but you do not have any ability. You're just popular. You're just a conformist. You don't have any skill. You don't have any insight. And now it's put up or shut up time because people ain't buying your shit no more. Americans can take so much, but McDonald's, they're not even buying McDonald's anymore. Harley? Who's the idiot that came up with that? I want to know that. Somebody had the original idea at Harley. Hey, you know what? Black lesbian space vagina with flags and the communism that'll help sell the brand. All right, let's go to the super chats and have ourselves. Oh, what a hell of a have link. I got Bachelor Pad Economics link below. And then just for all of you, if you're listening to that article and saying, God, what a fucking nightmare it would be to work for that corporation. And oh my God, it's every corporation. This is another angle and aspect I'll talk about when we get to the super chats. We all got to consume their shit, right? We all got to consume these inferior products. But we also then have to work for these assholes too, unless we start our own company. So me and Chad, we came up with a course called The World's Greatest Accounting Career, because as best as there's other careers out there, like, for example, joining the railroad, working as a railroad engineer. You can join the railroad right out of high school. They'll train you. So consider that. That's another. Truck driving, that's another one. But for those of you that are interested in more of a white collar office work with remote work opportunity, accounting, because goddamn, these dude bros need accountants. Everyone needs accountants. There's a shortage of accountants. And yes, you are going to have to work and suck the corporate cock. Yes, you will have to take the 10-inch girth dildo up your ass for a couple of years in corporate America. But after that, once you get some skills, accounting lends itself very well to self-employment and remote employment. And so if you're interested in accounting, we have a course linked below called The World's Greatest Accounting Career that's available on Teachable. Because, man, I want to cut out consumerism and materialism and have the least amount of interaction with these assholes in the world. That also includes employment. Like, if I ever had to go back to working for a corporate cocksucker, I'd probably become an accountant or probably go work at the railroad, honest to God. But that's something for you to consider. That's also linked below. If you can't find it, look up The World's Greatest Accounting Career on Teachable. You'll find it there. Dick and Refuculous, $5. Did you ever watch Saturday Night Live Weekend Update with Norm Macdonald back in the 90s? Yeah, pretty fun stuff, especially the OJ trial coverage. I was in college by that time, and if it was post 93, no, I didn't watch it. I was kind of, who was it? Yeah, it was Norm Macdonald was relatively new by the time I stopped watching Saturday Night Live. Generation Apollo, $5. Companies will spend $1 tomorrow to save a penny today. Yep. Ask British Petroleum how well cutting engineering safety and deep water drilling worked out. I know. It's so simple. It is so simple. And they won't do it. Kevin C, $2. I went to Buc-ee's for a vacation. That is a splendid vacation, Kevin. And I bet you had a good time. I bet there was a smile on your face. Humor is good. 2342, $10. MBA-Bros think they could get 10 engineers at $10 an hour for the price of one engineer for $100 an hour. Then the software fails and the product sucker people die. You don't need many engineers when they're good. Spend the money here on good engineers. Speaking of Buc-ee's, they pay you $25 an hour to clean the toilets. You know why? Because it's really fucking important that the toilets are clean. And they don't want to dick around with, why aren't the toilets clean? Well, because you paid somebody $5 an hour to do it and he didn't show up. And now other people got to go. The people who should be pumping the gas are now cleaning the toilets. Your average Fortune 500 MBA corporate leader can't fucking get that. Ass bucket, $5. I drove by the Carlson compound on 394 and 494. Oh, not the Carlson School of Met. Yeah, the Carlson Towers. But the Carlson Company is no more. I think they sold off all their assets, and now it's just the fund for the Carlson family. I think the daughter is still alive. I don't blame her at all. So fuck this. Why are we running restaurants? Why are we running? We're going to sell it off, take the money, and live off the interest. I think that's the most intelligent thing. I would love to talk to her. I know she's big, multi-billionaire, probably, but I would love, like, what led to that? It's kind of an interesting philosophy. Want to stop and take a picture just for you, Cappy. It's not, is it still called the Carlson Towers? Or did they rename it? Alex Patino, a truck driving Latino agent in the field, $5. I heard the same words. Lazy people work twice as much to get out of doing their work. Also the words, you can do it right or you can do it again. Yeah, I'm sure it's been said overall culture, but what makes me curious, Alex, is that maybe more Latino in origin? I've heard variations when I was a kid, but you know, Atham's dad Mexican, Atham Mexican, you're Latino. I'm wondering if that's a maybe it came over with the Spaniards. Naughty DJ Aftershock, $5. Boeing became an MBA ran company once they merged with McDonnell Douglas. The McDonnell people took over leadership and it's been decline ever since. What year was I don't need to know. I can look it up. It wouldn't surprise me. It doesn't matter who took it's happened. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Here's a shitty here. I'll sum up all corporations. Here's a shitty product at a higher price. Would you like a side of black lesbian vagina with it, please? And here's a rainbow colored flake. Fuck off. What? The most popular game right now is made in China. Black Myth. Uh, Shock. How many billions of dollars was wasted by video game developers the past several years on political, ill-programmed horseshit? What could we have done with that billions of dollars anyway? I'm gonna make a game to help out minorities and women and poor people, or you could just give them the money, or you could just build them housing. There is that. There's that option. You could give them the money to go to like a trade school and actually help them out, but no, you got to jerk off to yourself. But I'm not a woke piece of shit crap. Ass bucket, $5. I have an Audi sedan for a rental car, currently $85 a month for adoptive cruise control, F subscription, and MBA-Bros. You're right. Let's add a third thing: subscription services. You have an Audi, and in order for the cruise, they did that. They went through with that, huh? They made a fully functional car, but in order for you to have the cruise control, which the car is perfectly capable of, you have to pay a subscription, which probably means I got to get an app and have a username and password to turn on the cruise control. There is a market for an automotive engineer out there to go out and have like a like to break your phone. There should be a shop set up. Like, nope, we get these cars in here and we take out all that shit and we make it analog. Fuck subscription. Yeah. Yeah, you're really increasing quality. I did there again, I know, just me. Good quality at a fair price. How about that? Or ever increasing quality, not by leaps and bounds. Now we figured a way to make it a little bit better for the same price. Have you thought about that, MBA dude bros? Alex Patino, our truck driving Latino agent in the field, $10. Use the KISS model. Keep it simple, stupid. It's getting to the point that truck drivers who own their trucks are being pushed out of business because trucks now spend more time in the shop. Is that because they're over-engineered and it's more of a software? I don't need you to pay more, Alex. I'm just kind of wondering because I know the new cars and vehicles, they're going in because of software issues. And then the mechanics like, I don't know how to troubleshoot this software. You got to take it to the dealership. The dealership says, we don't got people who know how to do it. Mad Dog Radio, $5. How you doing, Cap? You gotta love the MBA's outsourcing jobs. Best engineers that $9,000 per year can buy, and Bob getting his $3,000 in call center. I don't blame the Indian. Look, foreigners, look, you could get the money, take it. I think that might be a bubble now. But man, I won't. I think I've had it where if I go, look, it's not that you're overseas, that the accent is so hard, I can't understand it. And so let's say if there's money to be made for someone to teach foreigners who already speak English, like say Filipinos or Indians, like here's how you get rid of your accent. There'd be money in that. But if I can't understand you, I'm not, no. If I have to say what, because I don't understand, no, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. I can do without, never get a warranty. And if I got to call customer service, absolutely not. Absolutely not. There's some I got to call customers. Oh, my Capital One credit card. I'm like, yeah, get rid. God damn it, guys. Probably be switching over to what was it? Modern Life John says I got to go to American Express, so I'll probably be doing that. Burbshide, 2 Australian. Stop playing Fall Out of Sky. Why? What about EBITDA, bro? Generation Apollo, $2. Get ready for DEI, heart surgeon, and nuclear techs. Oh yeah. Yeah, aren't they was it at the Harvard Medical School? The girls are all doing their dance. Oh, fuck you. Sorry, I want the oldest male you have. Who is the oldest male surgeon or doctor you got? He's 80 years old and his vision is going, fine, that's the guy I want. Did you know, man? $2. Off topic. Are you planning a book on a plan B? It's gonna be titled The Economy of One. Um, but it's not soon. I got I gotta pour some concrete. I gotta clean up other people's mistakes. I got to do a lot of things. Oh, by the way, I'll be on with Chad Elkins later on tonight. The Elkins Accounting Hour. That'll be 6 p.m. my time. That is Mountain Time. Alex Patino, truck driving Latino agent in the field, $5. If you want to buy a new truck, my advice is don't do it. Just buy a decent Peterbilt with 500,000 miles. You get a minimum 5 years worth, and you could do it again. Yeah, I'd imagine there's like a year where it's like, no, after 2012, don't get a new truck. Don't get new anything. Like, one, new is overpriced. You just never buy a new vehicle. You just never do that. I never buy new anything. Cars, clothes, computers, nope, used. But then they've just over-engineered and added all this other horseshit that I don't want. No, I'm not getting the app to unlock my car doors. No. Taco Guy, $15. Hey, Aaron, are there any books that explain how to become wealthy in a scientific theoretical approach, like the theory of evolution, but wealth accumulation? Yes. The Millionaire Next Door is a book you might want to take a look at. But I would also strongly recommend that you look at my course, not because I'm making money on it, but because it directly, specifically addresses your issue. What the hell is it called? Achieving Financial Excellence. That's also available on Teachable. And because there's two approaches. One, how do I attain wealth? That would be the millionaire next door. And then achieving financial excellence is what is wealth? Because everyone thinks, well, wealth is cars and houses and girls and $1 billion in the bank, bro, and girls with big tits. Oh, yeah, if that's you. But when you learn what role money should play in your life and ultimately how little of it you need, that dramatically lessens the amount of money you need, which I would also say is key to understanding wealth. Because, for example, you want you want a long range car. You want a car that will go a very, very far distance on a tank of gas. Everyone focuses on how many gallons can the gas tank, how many gallons is the gas tank? I also introduced the concept of what about fuel efficiency? How many miles do you get out of each gallon of gas? And that's where achieving financial excellence focuses on that, because everyone's there. I want a sports car and a house, and yes, it focuses on minimalism, but it teaches you not only the role that money plays today, but the role it's likely going to play in the future. And then you're like, oh, I don't need that much money. I'm not really giving away a lot of the crest. I'm just giving you a very, very general overview. But if you're some trophy wife who's looking at retirement, like, well, how much do you think you need to live each year? And she says $100,000. Well, you're going to need multiple millions of dollars to retire. But if you could get by on 25 grand, you could get by on $400,000 in retirement savings, depending on how old you are and how long you're going to live. So I look at that. So the Millionaire Next Door, Achieving Financial Excellence. And then I would also, after taking Achieving Financial Excellence, go get the book, Early Retirement Extreme by Jacob Lund Fisker. That's a very more mathematical and how-to instructional by the numbers type of book. Sanjuro, $2. When that day comes, Cappy, the shelves will be empty, Montana. Oh, empty. Empty. I see what you're doing. Mr. 220 Volt, $5. It doesn't help that Airbus state-owned doesn't have to make a profit. Yeah, you're right there. You're right. I understand that. Well, then the United States say, yeah, you're not allowed to sell your planes here. You want to play fuck around games? President Cappy could do it all day. Naughty DJ Aftershock, $5. Yeah, bro, that's sad that a lot of people died. But dude, yeah, bro, that's sad a lot of people died. But dude, the bright side is that I was able to buy my Dream McMansion in Bellevue for my wifey, bro. Ross the Skunk, $5. When traveling, I always pick a Buc-ee's over all the rest for the toilets alone. Right. It's not complicated. A 106 IQ person can get it. A 105 MBA-Bro can't. They just can't. Naughty DJ Aftershock, $2. Also, Boeing has astronauts stuck in space. Oh, yeah, that's right. They're still up there, aren't they? I mean, I feel horrible for them. I'm not making fun of them. But could you imagine the fear or the angst and frustration? Like, dude, when the fuck do I get off this ship? The Plains Warrior for a very telling 556. All the vids you've done over the past couple days, this is the one. This is the only one I got a notification on. Yeah, that's how YouTube rolls. It's, just double check, triple check. They do tinker with things. And I'll grant YouTube a little bit of reprieve. I don't always believe, they're throttling you. Yes, they are throttling Steve Crowder. Yes, they are doing certain things. It's not beyond them. But how many channels are you subscribed to? And YouTube probably, if you're subscribed to, like, say, 50, do you want 50 notifications a day to annoy you to hell? So I'm wondering if YouTube, like, only notifies you sometimes. And maybe I'm Gen X. Maybe I got up and changed the channel because we didn't have a remote. But, like, for example, Critical Drinker, they don't recommend Critical Drinker in my stream that much. I have to go to Critical Drinker, but I do. I don't mind typing Critical Drinker, clicking on it because I like the Critical Drinker. Oh, I like what's on channel 6. Okay, we'll turn the channel to channel 6. They didn't recommend channel 6. Alex Patino, a truck driving Latino agent in the field, $5. You nailed it, Cappy. Trucks being over-engineered is a problem, but the biggest problem is cheap defective parts from China and trucks by 2016 or older. Okay, so there you guys go. Aspiring truck drivers, 2016 or older. Mad Dog, $2. Subscribe to his channel, please. Working on more jazz songs for you. Any requests? Nah, just whatever you want, man. Don't do it just for me. There's only so much time in the day. Whatever you want. Mad Dog, $2 again. Oh, this is the same thing for $2. Nope, whatever you want. All right, there you go. Link below, Bachelor Pad Economics. And for those of you who want to avoid this corporate nightmare from the employment side, please consider a career in accounting, the world's greatest accounting career. It's available on Teachable. More on the way. See you guys later. Toodles.